Hi, I'm recording this video because I wanted to talk about something that I was diagnosed with recently, and that is PMDD. And for those of you that don't know, it's called Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. I think things began for me when I was about 19 years of age. Early on, when I had my period, the first day of my period was really, really bad. It was terrible. I would have the vomiting. I couldn't keep water down. I would have the severe cramping and passing of blood clots. And that lasted for a few years up until I was probably about 22, and I started my period at the age of 9. But I was around 19 when things began to change. I began to have migraine headaches. I would work temp jobs, and I've always done admin work, and I would forget a lot, and I would attribute it to stress or maybe a lack of sleep. And I just ignored it because I always thought that I was not a super sharp thinker, but I caught on really well, and I was a hard worker. And so the older that I got, things began to change. My temper got worse as I approached my period. And then the week that I had my period, everything would be fine. I would just be a little tired, a little drained. Excuse me, just the normal PMS symptoms. But for me, I think that things got way worse when I got married, which was in 1995. I thought it was the birth control pills. And so, like things that my husband would say, I would just get so irritable, and I would throw things. And it wasn't all the time, but it was just hard. Just getting along with others was very difficult. And so I kind of went into a shell. Well, this is 2014, and in July of 2013, I was finally diagnosed with PMDD. This video is not going to be extremely long, but it has to do with the hormones, and according to what my gynecologist said, it's a woman's body. It's the inability of my body to handle the normal hormonal changes that take place on a monthly basis. Just normal hormonal changes. I've read things that said, I've read articles that mention that it could be due to women being overweight, and they really don't know where it comes from. But I also read that it's highly likely that if your mother had it, that you'd have it. Well, when I speak with my mom, she talks about difficult cycles and how difficult things were in the weeks leading up to the start of her cycle. But she wasn't diagnosed with anything. She just kind of dealt with it. But I noticed that as time progresses, I'm 41 now, things have gotten progressively worse. The bloating, some months I'll look like I'm 5 months pregnant. Some months I'm so lethargic I can't get out of bed. Some months leading up until my cycle, I can't remember anything. Just details, things that I've read, and someone can ask me a question and I'll just draw a blank. I won't be able to recall anything. The inability to deal with stress is major. There's light sensitivity, there's noise sensitivity, the inability to focus, food cravings. Sometimes you'll just want chocolate. It could be a number of foods. Chocolate is not the main thing. And you just morph into a different person, and it's the worst thing ever. There are the feelings of guilt, the feelings of hopelessness, excessive worrying, paranoia, all tied into my cycle and the changes that a woman normally goes through during this time of month. I think that it's something that's not talked about a lot. I think that when it is discussed, I think that conventional medicine is quick to want to address the situation or the condition by the use of mind-altering drugs, which I don't think is healthy, but I'm not completely against them because sometimes those things are in order. Sometimes the months are really unbearable and you just can't function. It's impossible, nearly impossible to keep a job because you can function about maybe a week and a half out of the month. But the other 3.5 weeks, you're no good. The inability to complete tasks, the feelings of rage, the extreme anger. I can work out for 2 weeks straight and I begin to see some progress, and then when my period approaches, I just blow up, and then I get frustrated as if I've accomplished absolutely nothing. And I think that things have gotten worse since I've had children. My pregnancies were great, other than the fact that I gained a lot of weight. But I read somewhere where it says that it gets worse as you get older. So I'm doing this video in an effort to just track how I'm feeling and to share it with you, because there may be someone that you know that has PMDD and it's not diagnosed. There are interpersonal conflicts where you feel guilty and you second guess yourself and you're trying to figure out if you did what you were supposed to do, or did you go off on somebody that didn't deserve to be went off on, or just not being in the moment, not being present. And you know that you want to be, but you can't really pinpoint what's wrong. It's a very frustrating disorder to have, and it interferes terribly with relationships. I've been married for about, it'll be 19 years this year, and it's been difficult. The good times have been good, but the tough times have been really tough. So I'm going to make these videos, and you're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I think that I'm doing this in an effort to share with you what I deal with, and to also be able to help, for you to be able to help someone that you love, so that you can understand that it's not the person, it's the disorder. And in some instances, you may be able to look back on your relationship with certain individuals and say, they weren't like this before. What is it? It's not bipolar. It's not schizophrenia. None of that. And it's directly associated with the cycle. And it's not just regular PMS. I read something online that says 1 out of 20 women experience this. So it's not as common as PMS, but I think that it's beginning to be more prevalent. So this is just my first video, and I'll be talking with you guys soon. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.